Hi guys, assalamu alaikum. A lemon and blueberry tray bake today.
I really need you to hear what I'm saying.
So let's crack on with the recipe. We're going to start by lining and greasing our tin. I'm using an 8-inch square tin. It could be anything of a similar volume, any kind of tin or tray of a similar volume. Some baking paper, measure out how much you need, cut it off. Is our tin lined, and then whatever is left on my brush, I'm just going to brush that over the baking paper. That is our tin greased and lined. Next thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 160 degrees fan. If you don't have a fan oven, you just have a regular convection oven, it's 180 degrees, and that is gas mark 4. Let's put our tin to the side. Or to get yourself a scale, mixing bowl. Stick that on top of your scale, put your scale on. Get out our sugar first, and it's 225 grams of sugar. Stork or margarine. Put your scale back on 0, and it's 150 grams of stork or margarine, whatever you decide to use. Get your whisk. So we're going to cream these two together, our sugar and our margarine. We're going to cream them together until they're nice and pale and fluffy. This takes a few minutes sometimes. And it would help if I turned it on. There we go. There we go. So as you can see, that is gone nice and pale and fluffy. So you want it to be aerated like this, okay? Go nice and pale and aerated. Next we're going to add in our eggs, and we're going to add them in one by one and beat in between each one until each one is well combined. So eggs one by one. So your mixture should look somewhat like this, okay? So everything should be nice and smooth and well combined. Put your scale back underneath your bowl. Put your scale back on and weigh in your sour cream. So 200 grams of sour cream. So 1 unwaxed lemon. So all of the lemon zest from 1 lemon. Just zest it in to your, I just use this hand grater and just kind of get as much of the zest off as I can. So to get the full amount of your juices, roll your lemon to make it a bit softer. Yourself a knife, chop it in half. Lovely lemon squeezy thing, which makes life a lot easier. It catches the pips and stuff in there, and the juice goes through into there. So I just use that, and it just makes it so much easier to squeeze all the juice out. But obviously if you don't have one, you can just squeeze it with your hands. Put the juice of all your whole lemon into your batter. Scale back. Put your bowl on top of your scale. Put your scale back on 0. So 250 grams of self-raising flour. So 250 grams of self-raising flour. We're just going to put in a level teaspoon of baking powder. You're just going to sift your flour into your cake batter. Get yourself a large sieve and then just put your flour in there and then sift it in, okay? Just mix that gently until it's combined on a low speed. We don't want to overmix this because we still need to fold in our blueberries, so just mix it until it's all combined. It's very shiny, doesn't it? Very nice. So put your mixing bowl back on top of your scale. Put your scale on, and you want to weigh in your blueberries. So 125 grams of blueberries, and just fold them in. So that is going to go in. So level out your cake batter. So that's what your cake should look like. And now it's ready for the oven. So let's put it in the oven. Bismillah. So our cake is in the oven. We're going to move on to the cream cheese frosting. So you need a new clean bowl for that. You'll put your scale underneath your bowl. We're going to weigh in our butter first. Just make sure your butter is nice and soft, okay? 50 grams goes in. And then you want 200 grams of cream cheese. Now this whole thing weighs 200 grams, so I'm just going to put all of it in. I'm not going to bother weighing it. But if yours is a bigger one, then you want to weigh out 200 grams of cream cheese frosting. And again, it has to be at room temperature. If this was cold, then it would solidify our butter again, and then we'd end up with a curdled mess. We're going to cream those together until they're fully combined. Let's go. Spend a few times creaming your butter. It makes all the difference to your frosting. 275 grams of icing sugar. You may need a little bit more depending on your cream cheese. Some cream cheeses have more fat in them, some have more water, be more watery, so you might need a little bit more than 275 grams. But let's add 275 grams and see how we go. Sift all that icing sugar in. So actually do it in two parts. Put half the icing sugar in first, mix it, and then sift in the other half. So I find that helps the process a little bit and just stops it from getting too runny. So sift in your icing sugar in two parts. I'm going to mix that in. So we're adding in the other half of the icing sugar, and we'll just feed that in. So that is what it looks like right now. And then we're going to add in our lemon juice. Half a lemon. My lemon in here again. So I'm just going to go in with 1 tablespoon. You can do 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and just mix that in. Okay, so that is our cream cheese frosting. Once the cake is completely baked, you want to take it out onto a cooling rack, let it cool completely. So all is left to do is to slap on basically the frosting on our cooled cake, and then add some blueberries on top, sprinkle some blueberries on top, possibly grate a little bit more lemon zest on top just to make it look good. And that is your blueberry and lemon tray bake, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Take care. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.